Thank you. So this is the Community Housing Impact and Preservation Program, public hearing number 2, the CHIP program. The City of Fostoria, in partnership with Seneca County and City of Tiffin, are applying for the CHIP program. We held the first public hearing on April 2nd to cover all of the general information about the community development block grant and home programs. And what we're back to cover tonight is what the City of Fostoria will be applying for in specific to the CHIP program. The requests will include the request dollar amounts will include the hard costs and soft costs. The hard costs are the amounts that will be paid directly to the contractor completing the work or the landlord for the tenant-based rental assistance program. And the soft costs are the direct costs associated to the work or tasks necessary to implement the program. And I always refer to those as the kind of the behind the scenes. That's for any pest inspection, lead inspections, or to our inspectors that are out performing the inspection on the home. And due to the current economic state of the rising cost of construction materials, previously, I feel bad with my back to you guys. Previously, the state, whenever we would have an application round, they would, during the application process, they would put out what the limits of were for each program and during the application. But now what the state has done is they put out a memo that is updated whenever the state sees fit, and they actually just released a new memo April 30th of 2024 for the rehabilitation and the down payment assistance program. That limit now is 85,000 and the repair is 30,000, and I'll go over so what those amounts are, or what those activities are, here in just a moment, because the City of Fostoria is proposing those activities within their program. So the following activities were given priority based on the information gathered during the planning process. And the planning process involved a housing needs assessment. We had a housing advisory committee meeting. We had questionnaires that were gathered. And then we also had an assessment of various studies. And then we also had assessment of various activities, or I'm sorry, did you have, sorry. No, okay, no, sorry. So the activities that we're going to propose in the program are the private owner rehabilitation, and that activity is for the full rehab. And during that activity, we have the inspector go in and they do a full assessment of the home, and these are for owner occupied structures, so they do a full assessment, and during that assessment they will determine all of the deficiencies of the home, and as long as the home can be brought up to the full residential rehab standard within the monetary limit, and that's where that 85,000 comes into play. As far as the inspection can be, or I'm sorry, the home can be brought up to the full limits, then we will do the rehab on the home. The amount that we are proposing for the City of Fostoria to apply for would be $524,000. The next activity that we're proposing is the owner home repair. And in the difference between this one and the previous is, instead of looking for all of the deficiencies, we're looking for the deficiency of greatest need. A lot of times this one we're looking for health and safety items, or we're looking for items where we will assist seniors to age in place. We do a lot of bathroom modifications, ramps, those types of things. This we are proposing the city to apply for $315,000. The next activity that we are proposing that the city apply for is the home ownership rehabilitation, and this is where we would assist a first-time home buyer to apply for rehabilitation and down payment assistance. They would receive assistance to purchase a home. And then if the home need to be brought up to the current standards, we would assist them with that. And we are proposing for one unit at $85,000. The balance of the grant would be covered with project administration for $126,000, and those funds are split between GL Cap and the city of Fostoria for the administration of it. The grant or the application is due June 20th to the state of Ohio. This is a very competitive grant, so it's not guaranteed funding. And like I said, that this grant is in partnership with the city of Tiffin and the city of, and Seneca County. And so the district, what we do as your program administrator is the three partners entered into a partnership agreement. And so the city of Fostoria has an allocation of 300,000. Seneca County has an allocation of 400,000, and the city of Tiffin has an allocation of 350,000. So we do everything we can as long as there's applicants within the three jurisdictions in those amounts to spend those amounts. And so the distribution between those activities I mentioned would be for owner rehabilitation. City of Fostoria would have 2 owner rehabs. Seneca County would have 2. City of Tiffin would have 3, for a total within the grant of 8. The owner repair, the city of Fostoria would have 3. Seneca County would have 4. City of Tiffin would have 4. And then owner rehabilitation, home ownership rehabilitation, city of Fostoria would have 1. And then the remaining, like I said, is for the program administration. And all 3 of the jurisdictions did have program income that they committed to the grant. So we would have a additional funds that would go back into the program and would be committed to the owner rehabilitation activity. And that is what we are proposing that the city apply for the CHIP program. Does anybody have any questions? If not, that would conclude the public hearing. Okay. Thank you, guys. If anybody didn't sign in to the sheet on the clipboard, I'm going to circulate that around.